Well, after a quick safety check, it's time for a little shakedown ride on the UK's cheapest Aprilia RS660. Now, this exhaust is so obnoxiously loud. I've got my loudest earplugs, my best earplugs in, and I'm trying my best not to shout. But if all you can hear is exhaust and me shouting, I apologise. So far, one thing is immediately clear: this bike has not been mapped for this exhaust. It is definitely running lean, but the O2 sensors are still in, so I we'll quickly see if it's going to recalibrate and richen up based on the O2 sensors. The auto blipper light, see that right hand symbol? That's to show that the auto blipper is disabled. So the auto blipper is not functioning. We'll have to have a look at the manual, see what we can do there. Okay, it pulls well. Quick shifter works nicely, nice and smooth. It is so loud. I feel like a right idiot. It's so embarrassing riding a bike this loud. I know some people love it, but it's just definitely not for me. The mirrors are not as bad as I thought they would be. The right hand one seems to be closer in. I can see, I don't know how well it's going to come through on the camera, but yeah, actually the vision's okay. When I move my left arm, I can see behind me quite nicely. Yeah, it's reasonable, and they don't vibrate or blur at all. They're quite solid, so I have to move, I guess. Oh, I see, because the throttle, there's similar spacing on the bars. I don't know. Anyway, how does the bike feel anyway? It's comfortable enough. Fourth gear, 48 mile an hour. Low speed manners, it was running too lean, so coming up out of the neighbourhood, it wasn't very smooth, and I didn't want to really give it any revs as well, because it's embarrassing. It's my neighbourhood. So I don't know, if you live somewhere where you can have an exhaust as loud as this SC Project, oh, I don't know where you're living, but ain't any. Oh, hello, fire brigade. Right, which way should we go? Should we go for a quick detour? What's the, is that fuel a average fuel, or is that a real-time fuel? That's a real-time one, isn't it? What are we in now? Third, second. Manoeuvre Peugeot. Don't know if they were turning around or where they were coming from. So we're just on commute mode to try and keep it nice and smooth throttle, especially as it's running lean. We'll see if it smooths itself out, and then maybe we'll switch into individual mode. Well, the lovely airbox induction roar on the standard bike, there ain't no hearing that. These aftermarket levers are actually pretty good. I don't normally like aftermarket levers, but these feel nice. They're good for my big hands. Adjustable reach is set pretty perfectly. I need a little bit more angle. I need to tilt these down a little bit. Like short shifting everywhere I go to try and keep the sound down on this bike. Glad I put some air in the tyres. They were definitely yeah, that's quick. That is quick. That's very quick. Thought I'd get in before the speed limit drops down. Not that we got to worry about that with this coach in front of us. So it pulls well when you're on it. There was no noticeable flat spot. Not that I was completely revving it out, but it was quite a linear power delivery. God, you would not want to do any motorway cruising with this. Talk about a drone. So I think SC Project say this is 115 decibels, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I gotta say, I think considering I don't think it's had any mapping, I think the fueling is dealing with it pretty well, considering this has got to be the most straight through of any exhaust. Everyone else that makes systems for this bike, they seem to have a usual, you know, 50mm pipe work into the collector and 50mm pipe work to the silencer, but this is 70mm pipes the whole way through, which is just massive. I know that only sounds like 20mm, but when you're looking at the diameter of pipe work, the surface, like the cross-section surface area, like opens up exponentially. So let's get in front of this coach, shall we? I think everyone can hear us coming. If they can't, it should definitely... Whoa! Where on earth is this coach going then? The rear brake definitely could do with a bit of work. That is a bit softly. I don't know if they've got any lube or WD-40 on the disc or pads. That can be a killer for rear brakes if people aren't careful cleaning their chains. I hope this microphone is actually working, because I've tried my best. I turned the gain down to -12. So on my mission of de-pimping this bike, I think exhaust is definitely going to be number one. In individual mode then, as we go up. Oh, dynamic, that's it. Okay, throttle's just a little bit sharper. There, keep the speed down, take it easy. That's the problem sometimes with a loud exhaust. Sort of eggs you on a little bit, doesn't it? I don't need any of that. That's just right. Let's can't get the cruise control on. Why not? Come on then, cruise control. What am I doing wrong here then, people? Can't remember from the test ride now. Right. Does it only work in commute mode? Oh, individual mode, anti-wheelie disabled. Right, commute mode? No, also not working. Okay. We'll have to have a look, see if there's any settings or if we've got any faults. So the spanner in the bottom left hand corner I believe is service light, which if we haven't got any service history, that's going to be just needing that light resetting. The bottom right orange one is that the quick shifter is disabled and not working. That doesn't seem to be affected by the mode that I'm putting in. Cold day. What's it showing on the clocks here? I was saying 10 degrees now. It was 2 degrees when we woke up this morning. This is not April weather. What's going on, people? In terms of suspension, I think I need to slacken it off a little bit. I think it's a little bit firm. It's pretty good at being compliant, and it's not race bike spec, but it could do with a little bit of softening for these typical roads. The thing I find interesting is if you look at the Japanese, the big four appear to have different approaches to their chassis setup and how they work with things. Oh, an old Vauxhall Calibra, I haven't seen one of those on the road in years. Groundbreaking aerodynamics on those old Vauxhall Calibras. Right. Really doesn't like that surging around 3,000 RPM, but I'm probably in the wrong gear. Probably shouldn't be at 3 grand anyway. What was I saying about chassis? Yeah, so if you look at comparable bikes and you compare, for example, an R1 to a GSX 1000 or a MT10 to a GSX 1000, you'll quickly find that that's got a bit of the overrun. You quickly find that the Yamahas have a much shorter wheelbase, and the Suzuki's always have a much longer wheelbase. And in some cases, Honda splits the difference, and what that leads to is Yamaha, a lot of people liking them as race bikes, short wheelbase, nice and nimble, but Suzuki being great road bikes because they have that long wheelbase and nice bit of stability. Well, this Aprilia, so I've wheeled it in my garage, it has such a short wheelbase, much shorter than the Suzuki GSX 1000, but that typically, from bikes I've ridden in the past, that results in a kind of twitchy, unstable bike. And apart from the fueling, this bike feels really planted and steady on the road. I either need to completely change the system, maybe just put the stock system back on this bike, sell this SC Project one entirely, or I need to get some bits and pieces to do a bit of exhaust modification to bring the sound down, definitely, priority number one, but also if we can bring a bit of back pressure in, that'll help with the mixture, that'll help with mid-range and low range. And perhaps we can keep the cool looking 70mm pipework, because although the can is obnoxious and I'm not the biggest fan of shorty, MotoGP style cans, I like the pipework itself, the titanium 70mm pipework. It's cool looking. Definitely a little bit firm. We'll see what the suspension set on. The guy I got this from is definitely a bigger guy than me. Not a massive guy, but probably a lot more muscles. Let's put it that way. Skinny old me. That's not what my kids tell me anyway, though. Which way should we go here? I think we should take the left road. Back behind Prius taxi. Sorry to all the people around me that I'm deafening. They're just trying to listen to the radio and all they can hear is this ridiculous exhaust. Yeah, that rear brake definitely. I'm quite a rear brake dragger, especially roundabouts and stuff like that. That rear brake definitely could do with some work. I wonder if it's just... I have noticed that it is smaller. I tried to put on my usual disc locks. Front one fine, nice big chunky discs. Back one, no chance. It's too small. So you have bumps like that, the dampening on the shocks is quite nice. We've got no pogo in over the speed bumps. Just they feel a little bit firm, but we need to just see if we can set the suspension settings to stock, get off the Pimp My Ride. The mirrors have sort of grown on me, I don't know, but we'll see about that. The exhaust has got to go. That front wing, I think we've got two options with that front wing, because I'm worried about peeling it off because it's glued on and damaging the paintwork, which is not going to be fun to match this satin acid gold, not at all. And then what do we do? Put graphics to cover it up. Or it's leave the wing on there but peel the bright neon yellow letters off the wing that draws your eye, because if it was just the matte black wing, well, it's sort of satin as well, it wouldn't be so much of an eyesore. Yeah, so I'm in commute, the softest mode in third gear, and it's still choppy throttle. And there was none of this there's none of this in the factory exhaust on the bike I test rode, so gonna have to definitely do something about that. Don't know if everyone's looking at me because of this stupid exhaust or because they like the look of the bike. Who knows? Okay, is this cruise control going to work yet, or do I need to read the manual? Or have I just got a fault that is affecting both the cruise control and the auto blipper? It is a very, apart from the insane noise, I put this microphone in a terrible position, stopping my mouth moving properly. Apart from the insane noise, it's a very comfortable, pleasant bike. Very well mannered at this speed. You can just ride it all day long. Just taking it easy on the motorway with the traffic. Wind protection's decent. Just wish the cruise control was working, that's all. So let's have a little summary and a wrap up. The only other thing I've noticed is that the seat is a little bit crooked, it's a little bit wonky, so I need to look at how that's mounted, see if everything's okay with the seat or if that needs a bit of attention. But otherwise, the bike rides well, it's got full power, front brakes are good, suspension works well, maybe needs a little bit of softening off, but it's good anyway. Rear brake not the greatest, but I can't remember if that's just a symptom of these bikes. That's worth a bit of research. The auto blipper's not working and the exhaust pipe is flipping loud, but otherwise, yeah, I think it's a bargain and it rides well. And using a bit of clutch for a bit of downshifting, it ain't the end of the world. And a bit of rev matching, it's in my muscle memory anyway. Let's get home before the rain starts. What have we averaged on this little ride? 60 mpg. Has just been pootling about. The one thing about the exhaust is it makes me not want to use my throttle hand because it's so loud and obnoxious, giving me a headache. I feel embarrassed around everyone else, so saving me fuel by having a loud exhaust. And I don't want to draw the attention of the old Bill, because I prefer to be a law-abiding citizen. Well, next video we'll get on with some of this de-pimping, So far all I've done is put some air in the tyres and scrubbed that dirty chain and tensioned it. At least none of the links were seized. We need to order some bits up and we need to get on with ripping some of these tacky bits off. That's what we need to do. Anyway, if the microphone caught any of this, it'll be a miracle. Otherwise, I'll have to do some voiceover or something, I don't know. Ciao for now.